I know. I remember you just said that. Yo, you know I slept for 14 hours.
That's what you needed.
I know. That's what
That's
I
what you
needed.
needed, bro.
I know. I know. Okay.
I'm glad you got rest, bro.
I need music. I'm such a music guy. Chickity check, check, check. What's up, people? How you doing there? This is Bobby Hall / Logic, and I should probably just start signing these things, huh? So my boy JT's out of frame right now, my assistant, and he has some questions that you guys have asked. So let's get to it while I sign these books for you guys. Swag. Ow, my fucking neck. Okay, what's up?
Before we get into that,
It
release
was
day.
Lauren, right?
Yep.
Lauren's the bomb. Lauren's making sure all this is happening. Yeah. Okay, swag. Here we go. What?
Release day yesterday. How you feel?
Release day yesterday. How do I feel? It's like weird. I think I feel weird because, well, one, I felt really derealized and out of it, like very anxious. I'm too honest sometimes. I felt really anxious because I've been doing a lot, man. If I'm gonna be real with you, it's like I'm working on this album. Um, I'm working on this movie that I just wrote and I'm starring in, and then I got another film that I got to go fly off to do, and yeah, it's just been like I've been, and then being a dad and a husband. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's been very hectic. Good though, busy, and after all this shit, I'm taking a break and I'm gonna just kind of relax and rest. I think it's important. Spend more quality time with the fam and just chill. But how do I feel about the book being out, which is what I'm sure you mean. Really excited, a little nervous. I mean, it's weird because fans of mine for sure know a lot about these, the stuff in this book, but one, not in such detail for sure. And two, there is also a bunch of stuff that they don't know. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird feeling to know that literally my whole life is kind of out there in the ethos now. But yeah, there it is.
Is that what this book means to you? Just putting yourself out there in such a new way. What does the book mean to you before we get into these questions?
I don't know. This book sucks. No, I'm kidding. I it means a lot to me. First and foremost, it means release. It means forgiveness. I was able to just kind of put all these demons and all these things that I've been going through at bay, and I'm really happy about that. Ooh, I love that word, bay. Yes, queen. Shout out Lauren, the goddess. All right.
Anything else? Anything else to say to the people before we get in these questions?
I've never done anything like this. I'll tell you this, man. I haven't engaged with a fan in a long time. Like really, like on such a personal level. So I'm excited to do this because I've just been in the country in the middle of nowhere.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Cool. So the first question from Arena, Washingtonville, New York, United States.
Washingtonville.
That's what it says.
That sounds like a Homer Simpson made up.
Is that a real place?
Homer Simpson from Washingtonville? I'm just kidding.
She asks, did writing a book about your past change your perspective on it or any particular events?
Wow. Yeah, one big perspective change was towards the end of the book when I get more into being Logic, and I was just kind of saying yes to everything, and I felt like a slave, and I felt like I was going to pass out at every show, and I was just unhealthy, and I realized now how earlier I could have said no. I could have said the word no, like, no, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that, or blah blah blah, for my mental and physical health. And I wish I had known that earlier. But at the same time, it's like saying yes to a lot of those things got me here to be able to afford to say no now. I just hit myself in the face with a book. So yeah. Is there a lot of questions?
There's a lot.
Okay, I'll try to answer very quickly then. Because
No.
you know me, I be going off on tangents.
No, do your thing, man. Cameron from Valdosta, Georgia.
It's another fake city. No, I'm just kidding.
What was the biggest hurdle of telling your life story in this book?
Organizing it, I think. I worked with a gentleman named Tanner Colby, who helped me really organize everything and like kind of make it make sense. So taking all these random stories that I'd written and then kind of putting them in chronological order was very difficult.
Bryn from Stockport, United Kingdom.
Ooh, the UK. Hey, Justin, could you grab me that water? I know I'm being hella lazy, but I'm already in here. Could you grab me that water right there? Sorry. You can say hi to the camera too while you're doing it. Thanks a lot, G.
Okay, Bryn asks, if you were a school teacher and taught your younger self as a student, what would the relationship between the two of you be like?
What a great question. Wow. Well, first things first, as the teacher, I wouldn't have spoken to myself like I was an idiot, which is what a lot of teachers do. Which is what a lot of adults do, honestly. They kind of talk down on kids and, talk to them like they're stupid. Not all of them. The good ones don't. But yeah, I think for sure just a real line of communication. But there was Miss Hoffman. Miss Hoffman was really sweet. She was my 4th grade teacher. She was really nice.
Christian from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Thinking back to any point in your life, what is one book or movie / show / game that provided you with new, much needed perspective?
Damn. Well, it really depends. I forget what the show was, but if I'll try to make this as quick as possible. I forget what the show was, but I was a kid and I was watching just like some like Sally Jesse Raphael shit about people who had come out to their families as gay. And in my household, it was all homosexuals are gonna burn in hell and blah blah blah, which I never believed that and I never felt that way. But my mother, she was just always like, gay people are going to hell, they're going to hell, they're going to hell. And I was like, I don't really understand that. And anytime I were to question or ask why, it would just be met with like, oh, shut the fuck up, blah, blah, blah. So I remember watching this show and there was this guy. It was a bunch of, like I said, it was a bunch of people telling their stories. And there was this guy and he was like, when I was a kid, I was like a jock. I was the football star. I was the this, the that, blah, blah, blah. But I knew that I was gay. And he's like, and I didn't want to be gay. I wanted to be everything that my dad wanted and my mom wanted, which in and of itself is sad because you should want to be who you are, first and foremost. And yeah, his dad was like a military guy and he was going to go off to the military. And then he realized, like, I can't live this lie. And he told his dad and he was really scared. And basically, his dad beat the shit out of him an inch from death, banished him from the family. And he hadn't been able to go home since. And in my head, I was like, if being gay is a choice, nobody would willingly know that their dad is going to beat them to hell, strip them of everything that they want, which is their family, and just be like, yeah, it's clean. Like, let's just do that. Like, nobody's going to like that. No, that doesn't exist. And so it was something that really clicked for me when it comes to people's sexuality and particularly gay people and how they are just people, of course. And I mean, mind you, I'm learning this at like 8 years old. So that was a good perspective change for sure.
Wow. Got a question from New Zealand.
Oh, sick.
Lucy from Christchurch.
The Kiwis, yeah.
With this memoir being quite a personal insight into your life, was there ever a point in the writing process where you sat back and reflected on a memory that you'd brushed over in the past, but now you realize was totally messed up?
Yeah, I think me getting like low-key sexually assaulted as a kid by my dad's girlfriend. I never really thought about it. I just kind of always like, oh yeah. And then with this one, I kind of went back into details like, whoa, that's messed up, dude.
So it was during the process of writing the book that you kind of came across, wow, like.
Yeah, because I had to go into more detail about it.
Gotcha.
I feel so much better than yesterday, but now I just feel weird because I slept for 14 hours. Crazy, Bob.
Maxwell from Jackson, Wisconsin. What is your biggest takeaway from life in both career and personal aspects?
You can't buy more time. Treat yourself good. Be kind, be very nice to yourself, be nice to others, and spend as much time as you can with your friends and your family. Yeah, unless you have like a psycho dream, like I did, and then it's like, oh, for sure, like sacrifice your 20s, do everything that you can to attain that thing, and then enjoy the rest of your life.
Ruben from Las Vegas, Nevada. What does it mean to be a good writer?
I don't know. I'm not sure what it means to be a good writer. When I write music and I write scripts and all this other stuff. Justin, can you grab all these books here? They're just piling up. Um, I don't really think about it that way. I think when I was younger, I kind of did. I would think, yeah, you can just grab these motherfuckers. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, okay. I think when I was younger, I'd try. Yeah, I want to be the best rapper or this or that. As I get older, I realize like none of that really matters. One of my favorite quotes, I say it all the time. Alan Watts: "Anything you can be interested in, you will find others who are." Thank you, Justin. You're very sexy. Um, so for me, I just like to think that I create for like-minded people. When my first novel, Supermarket, came out, a bunch of people said, "Oh, this is like shit writing and blah blah blah, and it's so simple and so basic and so this and so that." And it's like, well, I wrote it because I was going through a lot of things. Thank you so much, mentally. And so I kind of based this character off myself. And literally at the beginning of the book, I damn near wanted to kill myself. So by the end of it, I found happiness and I found that it made me feel better. Um, and then there was a bunch of people who said they loved the writing and they really enjoyed it and they really appreciated it. So, I mean, what's good, what's bad, what's this, what's that? I think it truly just comes down to personal taste, right? It's like, I'm not really into like Dickens. Like, this is not my, and like The Great Gatsby and stuff. Like, that's not really my vibe. I can't sit here and say it's bad just because don't really like it. So I can say like, oh wow, it's a cool story, like all this other stuff. But for me to say it's bad just because it's not my flavor is ignorant. So when it comes to writing, like like being good at, I don't know, man. I just kind of do my thing and hope that somebody enjoys it. But if not, it doesn't really matter because I'm only doing it selfishly for myself anyway, right? Like it's something that I love and something that I enjoy. So that's why I do it. I think what is for the rest of the world is maybe like the messages deep down, of positivity and following your dreams and such.
Counterpoint to that, if it truly is only dependent up to the writer and the reader's personal interpretation, can you be a bad writer? Like, is it possible? Like,
Yeah,
truly.
I think so. I still think you could be a bad, like there's a difference between somebody trying to clown you and be like, oh, like this sucks or blah 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 or whatever, and then like, if you're kind of like, yeah, he did good, went there to store, came back, sat down, intense moment. I don't know why I did that in a southern accent, like like that makes somebody sound a certain way because it doesn't. But yeah, no, I think it's yes. Like, come on,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like yes, but to what level? Like bad. I don't even know if I would like describe it as bad. It's just kind of like I've written some bad shit. Like I'm just gonna be honest. Like even me. Like, and when I was a lot younger, like I wrote a Kill Bill ripoff when I was like 15 on a laptop about some
Yeah.
little Japanese girl whose parents got killed, and then she went to go train from the time she was 7 years old until she was 18 in a warehouse alone by herself. Sounds pretty bad to me, dog. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
I mean, you ever seen The Room?
No, I know the whole synopsis because I'm a freak, and even if I haven't seen movies, I just read the whole thing about them. Yeah, I know. That's awesome, but that's not this. This is a girl training herself in kung fu and swordsmanship, and like what? What? All right.
All right. Den from San Leandro, California.
I'm loving the international questions too. That was cool that we have some of those. All right, what?
Have you ever experienced a writer's block? Did you experience it during the process of this book?
I what a great question. I don't really get writer's block. I just get like uninspired. Like there's a difference. Like when it comes to writing music, I've always been able to write. It's just more like, okay, how cool is this beat? Like, does this beat get me excited to rap or whatever the case may be? I just write and write and write. Like that's what I do. I'm weird. I just don't stop. That's what they tell writers. They tell writers they should write. Just write. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's bad, right? Or it's not as good as you think it is. Just get it out, and then you can always go back and make it better. But just write. Just come up with the most asinine shit you can. I mean, that's like when I was working on my on this new script I wrote. It's called Protagonist. I just thought, what's the craziest intro I could write? Like to grip somebody in just like a couple pages. But then that intro actually got moved later into the movie, like a good 10, 15 minutes. So it's like it's just, you never know how things are gonna play out, which is really fun.
I love this one right here. Adrian from San Ysidro, California. While you were writing this memoir, was there a moment that made you think there's something more to accomplish, even though you are in a great spot in your life right now?
Oh, 100%. I think when people like think memoir, they think like, I did it, I'm out, tapped out, peace, like sidelines now. What's up with me and this Southern accent? I really like it though. Of course, there's so much more to accomplish. That's why like my main goal now is film. So I'm really excited to do film. Still going to be making albums, working on music. It's going to be really cool.
Zaga from Onfield, Connecticut. You've obviously made it as a successful artist. What keeps you doing it, and what's the next story for Logic?
Wow, that's cool. I made it. Sick. I just want to have fun. That's it. It's which is funny because remember that comment we talked about last night in my, not literally on the internet, but from a buddy of mine. I don't believe that shit. I actually need to call that motherfucker and tell him how I feel. And yeah, I should do it right now because it's just, that's not fun. That's not a fun thing. Like that's not, yeah. I think I'm moving forward and just having a good time. Still put your best foot forward, but like I'm not overthinking shit. Like, yeah, just I'm creating to create. I can't not. I don't think everything has to be met with this giant end goal. Yeah.
Got you. Bryson from Baltimore, Maryland. How much water do you drink?
I drink a lot of water. Sometimes what? What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask another question.
No, I was being funny. I drink a lot of water. I just got into coconut water. It's kind of a vibe. I'm really liking the coconut water. Dude, I really feel better. Yesterday, you guys, I'm telling you, I was out of it for like 2 days. I was so out of it. And today I just feel like $1 million, but really weird at the same time. Like I feel, how can you say that? I feel like $1 million, but fucking weird at the same time. This is what my friends deal with me all the time. It's literally like, you guys, I'm anxious. You guys, I feel weird. You guys, I feel out of it. Yo, you guys. I'm like, yeah, I'm freaking weird.
No, like release day anxiety, no?
I don't think that's what it was.
No,
because it's like, this is different. Like the coolest thing about releasing a book as opposed to releasing a piece of music is literally 10 minutes after you release an album, people have already skimmed through it and been like, this is amazing, or this is shit is ass, or blah, 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 blah. Like they can, because they can just hear it. And then other people are commenting about it, not a book. And that's what I love about every single person out there watching who's bought a copy. Like, you guys give a shit. I made this for y'all. And honestly, that's who I make my music for too. The issue is that, you know, any run of the mill douchebag on the internet can just get access to it because music is free. So they just go on Spotify and pay their however much money a month to go listen to 1 million albums. And it's just like, that's why, like recently, I haven't listened to these albums because I don't really listen to rap like that. But it's like Donda came out, and Certified Lover Boy came out, Kanye and Drake, and literally like within an hour, it just, everyone's like, oh, this is this and this is that and this is and it's just like, how can you even truly digest? Isn't Kanye's album like 20 fucking million songs? It's 2 hours. First of all, that's awesome and scary, and it's like, how can you have an opinion on something like that? Like truly, like we everything is so ADD culture with us today. Anyway, so I say all that to say, I'm really happy that this book is out because now it's fun. Oh, Pep's here. What's up, Pep? I'm really happy that this book is out because now it's for the first time in my career, anybody who wants to say something about it has to sit down and read for like 15 hours. Like, which is kind of cool. But anyway, I drink a lot of water, yeah.
This is my own question.
Your own question.
My own question.
Are you allowed to do that?
I don't know.
I feel like you're abusing your power.
I've got some power here.
Okay.
It's going to my head.
Okay.
In comparison to dropping an album, we've seen these videos of you on release day walking into a store, buying out these copies.
Yeah.
I know you got plans to do that at the bookstores with this.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that feeling any different of releasing a music project versus a book, especially a book as personal as this one? Is that feeling for you, the release of it, any different?
Yeah, it's way different. It's way different because literature is more quiet in a good way. You know what I mean? It's like not a lot of people fucking read, man. I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, a lot of people read, but I just mean like like if you're comparing it to music and hip hop and where I came up, like everyone is gonna listen to your album. Even if they hate you, they're gonna listen to your album because you're big enough that people want to talk about it, which is great because it just drives sales for me and makes me money. So I'm like, hate on, love on, whatever, like do it. So it's just a little different, right? Mind you, I haven't really been a part of a release in quite some time because I've been off the internet. Sorry, I just got to get these books. I think I enjoy these releases better because the people who are reading it or have a copy, it's different. They earned it. I think I used to feel this way like on my first ever album when they were still in stores. The second album was kind of in stores, and then after that, like it's just a different generation. Oh, my fucking head. I got these Botox shots because I got a cervical dystonia, for those of you who might not know, which forces your head to shake back and forth. And I had to get 10 shots in my neck. It was really crazy. I know. I didn't even tell Pep Talk over there. I need to, yeah, hopefully it works. I had this headache today. It was pretty gnarly.
Kaylee from Dalton, Georgia.
Rick Dalton.
What's your most embarrassing childhood memory? Love you, Bobby.
Ooh. Most embarrassing childhood memory? I don't know. When I was really, really, really young, I remember putting my little thing in a hole in the ground. Hey, I'm just being 100, man. I don't know what it was. I was like 5 years old, and I was just like in the neighborhood, and I was just like, look, check it out. And I put my dick in the ground. Just for a second. It was funny.
Call that a ground pound.
Ground pound, yeah. I don't know. Boys are stupid. I don't know why I did that, actually. It was really, really dumb. Well, there it is. I just outed myself.
That didn't make it into the book?
Hell no. No, it just had no significance.
Ryan from Georgetown, Texas. Thank you for sharing
Did you just do an accent?
It just comes with the Texas.
Wait, no, hold on. Let me hear your southern accent.
Georgetown, Texas.
See, but you sound like you're doing. You sound like you're actually making yourself do an accent. You got to make it sound a little more like normal. Can I hear it?
Georgetown, Texas.
Yeah. Say no, but why are you talking so goddamn slow, man?
It's just the candor.
No, it's not like this, brother. You understand what I'm saying? When you say it like this, you almost sound like you're trying to do it, as opposed to possibly being a little raspy with your voice, or then even going ahead on bringing it on up here. You know what I mean?
I got you, brother.
I'm just kidding. All right. Yes.
Thank you for sharing your life with us. My question is, how long did it take to write this book?
With the pandemic, it took like a year and a half. Yeah.
Was it this sort of thing you just sat down, took bursts, or?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a burst kind of situation where you just kind of go in and do it when you can. But it just took longer. Other factors going on, so yeah.
Robert Casey from Crum, Texas. What do you wish to see in our bright future? Peace, love, and positivity. Visionaries never fail. Rat Pack all day, every day.
Wow, shout out that guy. What's his name?
Robert Casey from Crum, Texas.
Fire. I mean, I'd like to see Black people not get shot down in the streets, people of any sexual orientation be able to walk around and not be harassed and also physically attacked. I'd like to see, Latin people not thrown in cages at a border. I'd like to see children not abducted and, harassed and taken advantage of and all these things. But unfortunately, we live in this fucked up world and it is what it is. I think what I would like to see is this generation and, this next generation continuing to fight against these things, which they are, but even more so that these things will at least lessen, because I think we're fucked. If I'm gonna be real, as humanity, like, I think we're fucked. But I think individual people can help and can make a difference in individual lives, and then they go on and so forth, like 6 degrees of separation, to truly affect the world and bring change into the world. And this is me just trying to do my part, spread a positive message in literature, spread a positive message in my music. That's what I've always wanted to do my best to accomplish. So yeah, I would say I see, I don't know, this world's fucked up, dude. All right.
Got a question from our friend Sarah Pasick.
Oh, hey.
What's your favorite story in the book?
That's a good one. One of them that comes to mind right now is probably OG Biscuit. And I don't know if anybody's gotten there, so I won't spoil it, but OG Biscuit is like one of my favorite things. Yeah.
You want to give some background to
I
OG
do not.
Biscuit?
I want people to read the goddamn book.
Want the people to read it. All right. Aaron we have a lot of Texas questions.
Yeah, what's up with that? We should go do a book tour in Texas. Excuse me.
What are you most looking forward to doing with your son for the first time?
Man, there's a couple things. Playing video games. Like, that's going to be crazy when he knows how to do that. Watching a full movie. I took him to our movie theater and played him Toy Story 2 the other day, and he watched like a good 25 minutes of it. And I was like, no way. And having like a conversation, like an actual conversation with this thing that like came out of my bowels. Like, what? That's crazy. Okay. Hey, Justin, you mind grabbing these books?
Chelsea from Burlington, Iowa. What was your biggest inspiration for writing this book?
Yeah, you can grab these, and then if you wouldn't mind actually just picking those ones up and bringing them and putting them here. Thank you so much. My biggest inspiration
for writing this book.
I think honestly just getting Justin dropped somebody's book. Just finally telling my story to an audience that would want to hear it, and knowing that if there was a section of a different audience that didn't really give a damn or doesn't like me because I'm Logic or whatever. It's really funny actually how like in entertainment, like people will hate other people. It's kind of insane. Like Kendrick Lamar sucks, or like Drake is so garbage, because it's like gangs where they're like, we're a part of this gang and we're a part of this gang and we're gonna and it's just like really weird. I think anybody from maybe one of those gangs that doesn't like Logic, this is a different person. Thank you so much, Justin. Logic to a majority of the world is just a fictitious kind of guy that's not real and lives in an avatar. So it's like, oh, we can make fun of this person just like we can make fun of, I don't know, Ellen or Obama. Like, depending, right? It's like really weird. This is a little boy who grew up. And even though, yeah, you could be ignorant enough to maybe hate on this book or whatever the case may be, I think if you're going to spend damn near, 15 hours, however long it takes to read a book, there's a genuine level of respect that you're going to have for the author, no matter what. So there it is.
Angelo from Peoria, Arizona. Did you have to reach out to anybody you haven't spoken to in a very long time in order to write any part of this book? And how was that?
The weird thing about me is my memory game is like on point. I definitely did speak with my sister Jeannie about a few things, and my brother Jesse, who actually ended up telling me this like story that I didn't realize had happened. Well, I knew obviously this, but it took place after my mother was stabbed, and I was just like, whoa, I didn't realize that happened after the fact. And he was like, yeah. So certain little things like that for sure.
Jose from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I would love touring there. They got a dope spot. I forget what it's called though.
Coming up in the rap industry, how did you deal with people who tried to bring you down? Also, you were a big inspiration to me.
Oh, thank you, dude. How did I just always met it with positivity. So it's still very difficult to have somebody tell you, negative things about yourself. Especially like me, like the truth is I said what I said about Logic not being real and like this whole thing because it's like, oh, it's just some guy in an avatar, some rapper. The difference between me and like low key 90% of other rappers is I'm not a fraud. Right. So that's not me shitting on rap. I'm saying most people just have a persona, but it's not really who they are. This ego that's like, yeah, I got this and I did this and da 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 da. And I've even been there. There's a little, whether you want to call him Bobby Tarantino or Young Sinatra or this or that, but those are still alter egos. Like Logic has and always will be like Bobby Hall. I'm rapping about my life. So it's very difficult to hear that. It's very difficult for somebody to be like, "Oh, you're not black," or "You never came up poor," or "You never this," or "You never that," and like try to deny your entire existence when they don't even know you. So that definitely difficult. But I always met it with positivity. I mean, the more people hated on me, the more I was literally was like, peace, love, and positivity. Follow your dreams. Do what you love.
All right. Brandon from Coralville, Iowa. If they made a biopic, I never know how to say it.
Yeah, biopic.
Biopic. If they made a biopic of your life, who would you want to play you, and which director do you think would get the job done right?
We are already making the biopic, and I don't want to spoil anything. So there it is.
There we go. Is it Leonardo DiCaprio?
I fucking wish it was. Well, no, we're in like pre-production, like figuring it all out. But yeah,
Amber asks, "How are you doing?"
I'm doing good. Thank you, Amber. I feel a little weird today. But like I said, I think it's only because I slept for like 14 hours, and what I needed was to catch up on sleep, which is great. I'm excited to continue Attack on Titan. I've never seen it, and binge watched like 8 episodes, so that's cool. My little boy will be asleep by the time I get upstairs, which is a bummer, but I'm excited to eat some food, maybe bask in the sun for a moment and relax.
Douglas from Sweden.
What a sick name.
Finished the audiobook a few hours ago. Loved the book and you reading. Is there any update on Ashton since finishing the book, or is it pretty much the same?
Pretty much the same.
Much the same.
Yeah. Talking about my little brother.
Got you. Alexis.
Damn, this motherfucker finished that whole shit.
Speed run.
It's been a day. Wow. That's shout out that guy. We should give that guy a medal.
Alexis from Oxnard, California. Hey, Bobby, do you believe in living a past life, and do you have visions of someone you're supposed to meet in this life that you haven't met yet?
This girl's on drugs. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally open to the fact that like there could have been a past life or this or that or whatever. I don't know though. I don't know. I'm not really too sure how to answer that, but I really love that question. It's pretty awesome.
Logan from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. What is the longest friendship you have till this day?
Wow, that's a good one. See, it depends on like I know Sean Tucker, the kid I met when I was like 5 years old and grew up, but we're not like close or anything. You know what I mean? Like we're just not. And that's just because of time and distance and other shit like that. It has nothing to do with him. He's great. But like when it comes to real relationship, like friendships, probably Lenny. And I met Lenny at about 18, 19 years old, 19, 18, something like that. Yeah. So I think I'd have to say Lenny, which was, yeah, it's been a while.
Benjamin from
All about the
France.
Benjamins, baby. Oh, Benjamin from France. Oui,
From
oui.
France.
Hello there.
What do you expect will be the reactions/feelings of your fans after reading the whole book? How would you like us to feel?
What a fucking great question. What's his name again?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. I just sang a song and then I forgot his name. I actually talk about that in the book, how bad I am at names and like remembering people's names and shit. It's funny. Ask the question one more time. I want to make sure I really answer it right. Sorry.
A second. Sorry.
Oh, did you skip it?
I skipped it. It was something along the lines of, what do you expect the reactions of
Yeah.
fans to be, and what do you want them to feel after reading the book?
I think honestly, fans are gonna be like, "Holy shit! Like I didn't know this. Like I really didn't know this." Because you hear me like I talk about some of these things, but it's just so quick. Like came up on food stamps and boom, bam, but it's like no, I came up on food stamps and like I'm talking about like not having food, like and really describing it and explaining my situation and how I felt about it. So I think, yeah, and I think they're gonna be like, wow. Like I really do. I think they're gonna be like, I had no idea it was actually this bad. I've even diehard fans who like love me and have followed me in my career for so long. I think even them, they're gonna be like, holy shit, I never knew this. And that's something that excites me for sure.
David from California. Was there any specific part of this memoir that was a big eye opener about your life when writing this? Like I really lived through that experience in my life.
Yeah, I mean, even just the section of my mother and how she would scream and kind of go crazy and wild. And yeah, that was a big, like, listening back to that audio was pretty crazy, actually. So yeah, just kind of being in such a negative space every day, all the time.
Did it affect your mentality, putting yourself in that mindset and space to sit down and write?
Not really, because this is all shit I've dealt with and talked about for so long. You know what I mean? Like I literally, all my homies know so many of these stories, and some of the shit though they don't know, which is kind of cool, which I like. But I mean, it's stuff I've dealt with. Like I never ran from any of this shit, you know? I never did.
Lucas from Germany. No question, just wishing you and your family all the best. Greetings from Germany.
Oh, Lucas, thank you. That's not German at all. I don't even know what that is. But thank you so much, Lucas. That's really sweet of you, man.
Dylan from Stockton, California. What is your favorite thing about being in Montana? I seen you carrying a knife in Barnes and Noble video. What is your everyday carry?
Everyday carry, like my
Like
pistol.
knife and all that things you carry around, like
I carry a Glock 48, which I really love. But yeah, there it is. But I'm in Utah now. We moved.
Let's see. Brendan from New Brighton, Minnesota. If you could live inside a video game, which one would it be?
Oh yes. Oh. See, like my gut is like, oh, Last of Us, but it's like, no, I don't want to see my wife's face ripped apart while I have some like crazy backstory and I'm like killing clickers and like, no. Yes, but like no, like I don't want that. Probably Uncharted, because Uncharted is the closest thing to the real world. So, yeah.
Ant from Pennsylvania. Do you plan on writing more books? I imagine you have a lot to talk about.
Yes, many.
Anything you can give a little peek into?
Next question.
Kaya from Zimmerman, Minnesota. What is the best part of being a dad?
Oh, dude, best part of being a dad is watching this little thing grow. Like literally, it's like a blank slate. And now he like listens to Metallica and Toro y Moi and shit. Like what? It's crazy to me. Anyway, yeah, watching this little person grow and knowing that you're responsible for who they become for the most part. And I'm excited.
Audrey from Texas. How have you taken your time for your mental healing, and what made you choose your mental health over your dream career?
Well, my dream career, I reached every pinnacle that you could reach with the exception of winning a Grammy, right? You know, I have endless number ones. I got platinum plaques all over my house. I've got monetarily, I'm okay. I've sold out arenas. You know, I've done all these things. So I hit it. That's the thing. And I decided to take this time to focus on my mental health and well-being and personal life because I already hit those things and I hit them over and over and over and over and over. And then I was like, wait, why am I just doing this? Why? For what? To be popping? I'm 31. Like I be looking at 31-year-old rappers and shit talking about stuff that I'm like, man, yeah, buy some cryptocurrency, man. Visit your kids, man. Like I'm like, I'll be like, for real. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of really great rappers out there who have embraced their age and their maturity. You know, people like Andre 3000, you know, countless others. J. Cole's a really good example of somebody who's, you know, in his later 30s now, and he ain't rapping like some little kid, which I really respect. But that's me. That's my career. That's where I'm headed. I think for me, taking that break was important because yeah, the number ones you can only have but so many of them, and then you're just like, why am I doing this? You know. And now I've realized that while working on music now, like I'm doing it just because I love it. So I'm not going to jump on that hamster wheel anymore. And maybe because I don't jump on that hamster wheel, the music isn't as big as it was at the height of all of that. But I would prefer it not be that way anyway, because I'd rather be happy doing what I love than kind of not just doing it for a number one, because I was never in the studio just like I said, nobody was we weren't in the studio like, oh yeah, this Suicide song about to go off, dog. Like, no, nobody thought that. But I think the things that came after that, you know, but it was all done from the heart though. So it's like if I'm in the studio with Marshmello, like, yes, it's Marshmello, this dope pop DJ, producer, artist, like, but I wasn't in the studio like, oh yeah, we got to be with the most poppin' DJ. Like, no, it was just the guy made a cool beat and I had fun recording it. So yeah.
Eileen from California. Would you ever write a comic, graphic novel, or manga one day?
What a sick question. Oliver Tree has a really cool comic book that he did, graphic novel. Yeah, I can see myself doing that for sure, without question. I don't know when, where, how. And a big part of me wanted to do it with like the Thomas and Kai story. You know, Jose Fernandez is a fan of mine, and he's a really good artist, and he kind of created his own comic, and he actually did a really great job at doing it. And I thought it was really cool. So yes.
Let's see. Marnie from Iowa. When can we expect Ultra 85?
2024.
Let's see. Michael from Toronto, Canada. Hi, Bobby. Will there ever be a TV show about Talia's global takeover? And have any shows inspired you over the last year? Peace, love, and positivity, big bro.
Toronto. I don't think there'll ever be a TV show. I mean, never say never. You never know, but I doubt that. I'm working on something really cool though. It's all audio though, but that should be fun.
Mel from Bronx, New York.
Yo, the Bronx.
Great job on Mr. Corman. Looking forward to you furthering your acting career. If you could be in a DCU or MCU film series, what would it be?
I'd want to play Deadpool. That'd be so fucking fun to do. Yeah. One of the craziest disses I ever got is when I just released Young Sinatra 4, where I'm like bald on the cover, and some comment on Twitter was, yo, this nigga Deadpool just dropped an album. I was like, God damn. That shit hurt my soul. Anyway, it was funny, but it was very mean at the same time.
Carissa from Louisville, Kentucky. Your book Supermarket was genius writing. Will there be a second part?
Thank you. No. There was a part of me that thought about like, hey, what if I wrote the book that Flynn was writing in the book called Muldoons or whatever? But no, just like, we don't need Stranger Things season 17. Like, honestly, after that first season, if it just ended and was just this cult phenomenon, it would have been amazing. Like, There's certain things that I feel like end so incredibly, even though you're like, what happens? Like, so what? It was the most amazing journey. Not everything needs an answer. Not everything needs a conclusion. So, yeah, bro.
Andrew from California. Yo, Logic, it's my 32nd birthday. Big
Hey.
fan. Besides
Happy
music,
birthday.
what inspired you to stay so strong and above the negative influence going on in your family and neighborhood, above drug addiction? Thank you.
Sorry. Jeez. That was a very awkward interruption that I did to you and the way you were. Sorry
It's all
about that.
good.
I don't know, man. I always say God and common sense. I'm not sure how I'm here. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I didn't fall down that path. It just wasn't for me, and it just wasn't who I was, I suppose.
Let's see. Caroline from Washington, D.C.
I love that name, Caroline. You know, there was this Caroline from the University of Maryland that was friends with me and Six and Castro and all the homies back in the day. She was really sweet. And I think she danced. She did like hip hop dance and shit. I think she was in one of my music videos, The Spotlight. But this is probably not the same person.
How often do you visit home, if ever? And how does it feel when you do?
I haven't visited home in a long time. Like, actually visited and been like, oh, I'm going to go here, go to this place. It's usually always like I stop by on tour and I go to my favorite lake if I can, and I go to my favorite restaurant if I can, and I like to see certain people if I can. But I haven't actually just visited. And I bet you Maryland is so different when you're loaded. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, I haven't actually spent time in Maryland since I was broke as shit. So imagine just being able to go to G-Burg and then go to DC and go to a nice dinner and go to Potomac and like, yeah. My wife, she's like always like, I really want to see Maryland. I really want to see it. So I think maybe in a couple years when Bobby's bigger and older, we'll all go as a family and that'll be fun.
Andrew from Chicago, Illinois. Did you ever worry about the pop success of 1-800 overshadowing all you had already been building within the rap and hip hop world?
That's a good question, actually. Not really. And in many ways, it kind of did, but not really at the same time. It's like a weird thing. It's like I became a household name with 1-800. You know what I mean? Like soccer moms and minivans were like, Logic? Oh my gosh. Like, so that's cool. Like, you know, that people knew who I was. But I had built such a giant fan base for, you know, 9 years before then. They're not going anywhere. And it's like any real fan of mine knows who I am. So if they see me on the TV or the radio or this or that, like, I think they're genuinely happy and excited for me. You know what I mean? Because it's like I spent my whole life grinding. And then, yeah, like I've made a couple pop records, pop songs. I've had fun like every day, yay. Like that's just like a fun song. And I think I've done enough Growing Pains and Soul Foods and Dead Presidences and Gang Relateds and that, like, to be able to be like, all right, I'm just gonna have some fun. Like it ain't that deep. So yeah. But I was a little worried that I would just be like the 1-800 guy. But I do feel good that like after 1-800, then I did drop Every Day, and I dropped the Bobby Tarantino project, which was like a big kind of like pop rap record. And then I did, you know, just the record with Eminem was a big song. And, you know, I just had so many big songs. And I think I just utilized, because I'm not an idiot, the success of 1-800. But I don't think you can really make a bigger song than 1-800. I mean, that's like every 10 years kind of like where everyone in the world knows that song type shit. Like it's just huge. Yeah. So but also if there was a song to be remembered and known for, that's the one. It's not like Boats and Hose 3. Like, you know what I mean? That's the song you want to be remembered by.
Piggybacking off of that, Torstein, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, from Norway. Which song of yours do you think is the most slept on?
Ooh. Damn, that's a hard one, dude. Low key Limitless. That shit goes, dog. You the man, you know, you the man, really on your hand, you the man. Like, it's just such a banger. It's such a fun. Is that where the Massacre line is? No, that's the Scarecrow line. How does that line go?
I'm outstanding in my field.
Yeah, Scarecrow flow. I'm outstanding in my field. Oh, very slept on.
Cody from Ohio. Can you list your top 5 Tarantino movies for me, please? No particular order. P.S.
No-
Huge fan, been with you since the YS days.
Hey, no particular order. Yes, I can. Bastards, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Fuck. Oh man, it's so difficult. It's a difficult one. Oh shit. I'll just say Reservoir Dogs for now.
Let's see. Chris from Dallas, Texas. Hypothetical. What would be your death row final meal?
Pussy. All right, next question. Lauren's like, who is this man? I'm just kidding. All right.
Jack from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What's the process you go through when creating the topic of a song?
Happens randomly. Typically, when I tend to write, I just write. Like, I don't overthink it, and then it just kind of steers off and goes to become what it is. And then there's like an overall theme, kind of. So, the other day I was working on Ultra 85. I'm working on two hip hop albums right now and some indie shit. And one of the hip hop albums I'm doing with my boy Lenny, and like I sat down and was working on this Ultra 85 record, and it was very. I just got this idea stemming from the production and stemming from the sample and something that the vocal was saying. And then I ended up doing like 3 different sections of the song and producing it out. It was just really fun. So just, you never know, man. It just kind of happens.
Luke from Michigan. Hey, Logic, or Bobby, as I'm sure you'd prefer us call you now. I've been a huge fan of yours for going on 8 years now. Can we expect more pieces from you in this career path? And if so, what category/genres could we see you dive into? Much love from Michigan.
What does he mean?
I guess as far as books and the literature world.
Oh yeah. First of all, I don't mind being Logic. I'll always be Logic. I think the only time I ever stress being called Bobby is 1, in my personal life, and 2, if I'm doing an interview for a book like this, for example, like I just say, hey, introduce me as Bobby Hall, and then you can refer to me as Logic or this or that. So thank you for being sensitive, even though you don't have to be. Yeah, I'm working on some sci-fi novels. There's another novel that I really love, that I've been kind of working on too. But you just let it happen. You just let it happen as it does. But yeah, definitely different genres. It'd be fun to do like a murder mystery on a train. And I could call it, I don't know, like Murder on the Orient Express or something. That'd be so fire.
Sergio from Indianapolis, Indiana. Out of all your album covers, which is your favorite and why? P.S. Thank you for growing and changing over time. It helped me do the same and get better.
Change. Never change. I'm with that. Okay, so difficult. They're also fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, No Pressure is just the growth, the ultimate opus from Under Pressure. Under Pressure is a time capsule in my basement. The Incredible True Story isn't just this square. All the fans know when you open it up, you see everybody who kind of helped make the album what it is and produce on it, and it's really special. So I don't know, but I'd say those are probably my, well, and the Everybody cover. I mean, bro, there's like almost 100 people painted. Sam Spratt is a G. I still need to call him though. All right.
Yeah, it's looking like we can start wrapping up here. Any final words, any things to end off on about the release? As people start to kind of finish the book over the next week or coming months, it's a long haul thing I know you've mentioned before.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you know that everything in it is the truth, and I said it all from no place of malice. And even my family, any family that might be watching or listening, just know that I love you, and at the end of the day, I just wanted to tell the truth, and that's it. I hope maybe, my hard times may help anybody out there who's also going through or dealing with things that are difficult in life, and just know that you're not alone, and people go through shit, and it sucks because it shouldn't be a normal thing. But once again, that's the world we live in. And yeah, I mean, stay positive, peace, love, and positivity. Thank you for supporting me. Like you guys, you're my core fans. Like 100, you are my core fans. You are the people who I may actually make music for, and will always continue to make music and different creative, kind of avenues that I'll walk down. It's for you. Like I'm excited for you to follow me musically. I'm excited for you to go to the movie theaters and watch me on the big screen. I'm excited for you to be there because you are the person who's supporting and actually making all my dreams come true. It's because of you that I can sell this book and that it hopefully does well to show somebody in the literary world that blah, 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 fuck all that. Like I do this for you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real. Look, I get it. People working hard, you got jobs, you got bills to pay. But I will say, if you got a copy of this, get the audiobook. The audiobook is crazy. I read the whole thing. I think you'll love it. Well, thank you guys. This is Bobby Hall, Logic, signing off here with Grogu. Say something. Get that motherfucking book, dog. Watch your language. Goodbye.
Hey, this is Jon Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching today.